Alright, this is a Sejuani tier list explanation. Starting off right off the bat with someone I gave a very bad description for is Shen. I didn't mention it in the tier list, but he was taken down from tier 2 simply because his scores back then were based on his changes. Since then, Riot has taken him back to the woodworks to rework him once more, and therefore we have no information to go on, so now he's based on his current live build for the base of the scores. Right, Dr. Mundo has slowly been making his way up the tier list. He may be heading to tier 2, but I'm still kind of iffy about should I value his speed and, you know, his sheer snowball potential in the jungle, his farming I mean, over the fact that he's awful at ganking and have some bad matchups. Like Pantheon has like awful at everything, but his ganking is amazing. So it's kind of like I'm thinking, why can I have Pantheon in tier 2, but not someone like Dr. Mundo? It's like I have too many speedy guys up there and whatnot. I'm just like, I gotta figure out if I want to bring Pantheon down or bring Dr. Mundo up. Dr. Mundo though, his ganking is awful. People keep trying to argue, oh, use Ghost. Oh, his slow is great. Oh, no, it's pretty bad. You miss your first Q, you're not gonna hit anything else. Yes, his damage is high. Yes, he's got, you know, like his cleaver can chain slow somebody. But if you miss one or you miss the next following, he's kind of screwed. And like he has a whole I can't actually die when I try to gank syndrome. Like some junglers have that whole risk factor of them just being killed in return. Mundo has no ability to actually peel himself off somebody once he engages. Yeah, his W is there, but that thing is pretty bad early on, in my opinion. So Mundo, higher on the higher on the sustain once he gets going, super high speed and damage, pretty bad on the ganking. His evasion's alright, mostly because he can do tricks with a cleaver and hurt people that he ambushes, but that's about it. This isn't addressed in the tier list, but it was announced in the patch preview that Lee Sin is getting nerfed. Now, it was really stupid how I heard like why they nerfed him. He doesn't have to itemize attack speed, he can just put pure damage unlike other junglers. Then, like, isn't this the whole crap that Riot's just trying to homogenize every goddamn character? It's like, so what if he can build an AD instead of having to get attack speed like every other goddamn jungler? It's like, it'd be a nice change of pace. It's like, some people have said, Stonewall, some of your junglers no longer have the whole armor pan attack damage thing. I know, because attack speed is pretty effective, and it's better than a lot of other things can have. However, isn't it nice that we have a few junglers that don't need to get attack speed for their runes? Because attack speed isn't useful on everybody, or isn't as, not as useful as attack damage or armor pen. But they have to get it in order to jungle as effectively. It's like depending on how big the nerf to his attack speed from his passive is, it will hurt his jungling. But I don't think it will. Like, he still got his great damage and everything else, so he likely won't drop from God tier. This is more me just bitching about Riot, slapping him in the dick for no reason. So like, just no, like that. If they're ever gonna nerf him, that's not a way to go about it. Like he isn't the fastest. He's about average speed. It's just he's versatile and he's a great duelist, and he's got good ganking potential. It's like, yeah, that's something you would want, in this game, to have, you're able to be creative with the character and change the flow of the game just by existing. That everybody has to be the same. Oh, the Shyvana flavor of the month. She's tier 1 right now, and she's pretty high in it. And no, this is not because of M5, because M5 isn't the ones who discovered how to play. In fact, people knew how she was played for a long time now, just the general community was stupid. And they were like, oh, Shyvana's an awful jungler, she's a terrible character, she can't gank. No shit. Since she was brought into the game, I said she's an invader. She can't gank, but she's a strong invader and she's a strong duelist. So might as well abuse the enemy jungler because you're really fast. And you have no mana restrictions and all that crazy stuff. Yeah, she's really strong. However, though, I will admit, like, if it wasn't for the whole M5 flavor of the month causing thing, I wouldn't have had her as high up in the tier list right now. Like, I'd have her more in the bottom of tier 1 instead of upper tier 1. Oh, mid-tier 1. Why is that? Because now that I'm not the only one using her, or that rare guy who, tried Shyvana and is awful at her. It's more experienced junglers trying her out. They'll do, and they can finally understand what everyone's been telling them. Be aggressive, invader, cause fights in the jungle, all that stuff. So now that, I get to face these people, I get to learn more about the character, and I got to realize that, holy crap, she's got, no matchups that are against her. She beats almost any other junglers. The only one I could think of that could stand up to her was, a Trundle, and that's because I shred her and, can kite her, and then once her ability, her W is down, she's got a lot less damage, and I can beat her down. And if she ults, I drain all her, stats. It's that's the only one that I had, a positive matchup versus. It's when I used Trundle, I fought up Shyvana, I'm Trundle wasted her. Lee Sin was more on the favorable side, but, Shyvana's just got scary matchups, and I'm I got to witness that, I got to, experience that, because she's flavor of the month right now. So therefore she went up higher, because finally I get to face her and learn even more. So, she's an invader, she's a duelist. It's she's got that whole aggressive gameplay going down. She's like the new Nunu. She combines both theft invasion and killing invasion. The next character I would want to talk about is Jungle Karthus. He's been seeing some play in the jungle. We all know he's a strong laner, but now he's being put in the jungle. And why is that? There's a popular strategy right now of having 2 Will of the Ancients that requires 2 AP casters, to exist in the game. However, dedicating 2 AP lanes to, 2 lanes to AP casters, that could be a risk. If you have your bruiser or your tank in the jungle, and the matchup for him is just awful and he can't get going, then when come mid game, you got nothing, to initiate with or someone to be a meat shield. However, if you can put an AP in the jungle that can carry Will of the Ancients, now that's just good. That can work out well for you. Karthus is someone who even in the previous jungle has been a niche flavor for the jungle. He's very fast. He has high damage when it comes to ganks, and he he doesn't negatively snowball. He maintains that crazy speed. So he definitely can work, and his ganks aren't weak either. Of course, his transition, it all tips on the fact that he actually killed somebody. So he won't be as strong at all if from the jungle as if he wasn't in the lane. He wouldn't get that farm. He has to kill things in order to get there. However, it's that won't matter too much because you already have another AP character who will pick up his slack for the meantime. Because come late game, it doesn't matter whether Karthus jungle or lane. Come late game, it's freaking Karthus still. He's still gonna be that annoying bastard. So, but why isn't he top tier, or why isn't he anything? Because he's fast, he's got a lot of damage, and his ganks are rather fine. But everything else seems to be lacking. His sustain, of course, with mana issues, but his matchups are just horrendous. Most any other jungler that is commonly used can kill him if they find him. Lee Sin runs into Karthus, Lee Sin's gonna kill Karthus. Karthus is squishy when it comes to dueling. So it's you can't really rely on him for skirmishes or anything, because if you don't get the upper hand, surprise, or you get ambushed, you guys are dead. Karthus isn't a good guy to back you up in a skirmish that early on. So he's seen play, but he's still a risk. He still has his weaknesses, but he's cool. Now this next part is just talking about his stealth, because I've already talked about Wukong before. Now, his stealth is just pretty much doubles the range of his gap closer if used correctly, and you can use it to just dupe wards. A good example is in middle, where the 2 bushes on the sides. You have that gap closer, but it's not enough range to reach the carry. Even if you walk out, then they'll just back up, and there's no chance of ganking. And if you flash and then dash, well, you wasted your flash, and they'll probably can still avoid it. However, if you were to stealth in, you can inch your way enough to get your gap closer in and hit the person, and it basically doubles the range of your gap closer. So his ganking is a lot better than I initially gave him credit for, and he has a lot of damage. So it's he won't burn anything, but he's gonna put a lot of pressure on the lane by just exerting a lot of damage on somebody. It's like he's looking fine. Like he could be even stronger jungler. Just he lacks sustain. If will we ever see him as a jungle choice? Maybe we might actually see him be used. Because I mean he's a strong fighter, he's a bruiser, and transitions rather well, and his ultimate is very deadly. Like I would like to see him used more in competitive play, but whether it's just laner or a jungler, that's still up to them. Warwick just got raised a little bit. There's no big reasons. Just I just took down some of the joke junglers because honestly the joke's been old already. It's like, yeah, Soraka has that whole crap about her, but honestly you'd rather probably take Warwick over Soraka. Alright, after the initial oh my god Sejuani's awesome thing has finally worn off, I can tell you some of her weaknesses and why she's moving down a bit in the tier list, and she might be moving down even more. It's like she's got speed, she's got great in build independence. She can, I mean, her sustain issue doesn't last long. She maintains her jungle. That stuff is there. Her ganking is strong pre-6 and then godly after 6. However, her biggest weakness just has to be her lack of damage. Like that's fine though. It's like she's a team player. But it's not fine when it comes to jungling versus, like aggressive junglers. It's like she's a bad duelist because of the lack of damage. She won't finish people off, and she may not be able to beat people off. It's like Lee Sin, Shyvana coming in the jungle. They're not afraid of her. They can probably kill Sejuani. Sejuani just has a lot of bad jungle matchups. I could not think of a single one of the serious junglers where she had a better than an average matchup. When I played her, I felt I had nothing but negative to average matchups in the jungle. It's like Shyvana would destroy me, like Lee Sin would wreck me, Trundle would obliterate me. It's like I can't kill anybody and I can't scare them off. Like yeah, I can CC lock them, but they could probably just turn around and break my face in, or just run away eventually because I'm not even killing them. I'm just like nudging at them, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's Sejuani's weakness. She doesn't have that whole killing power. She doesn't have that whole pressure exerted on other junglers. So, like for laners, she can gank some of the laners most other junglers can't gank, thanks to her wide array of tools when it comes to ganking. But other junglers, yeah, she can't deal with them. So that's her weakness right now. Like that's one thing that just is not sitting by it with me. I can't pull off some invasions, or I can't be super aggressive because of how bad the matchups are towards other junglers. So that's her weakness. The rest of her package is fine. I think she's strong. She might even see some play. I know one team who's thinking about using her for an upcoming tournament. But yeah, just matchups. Ugh. Now, in this next part, I get to talk about what I want. And one thing I want to talk about is people being stupid. Oh my god, Skarner got nerfed. He must be garbage tier now. No, you dumbass. He's not garbage tier. Well, but his banner got reverted back to how it used to be. It did. But did his damage get reverted back to what it used to be? Did the jungle get reverted back to what it used to be? No. No, it didn't. So it's like, oh, he's got some mana sustain issues, and stop spamming W across the damn fucking map. Like Skarner got nerfed, yeah, but he's everything else, gave him buffs too. The new jungle being crap and AoE fest. The fact that he got more damage on him, it's like, yeah, he's still strong. Like, I still don't know whether he'll go down, like, I don't know, tier 1, but it doesn't mean he's bad immediately. It's like the Lee Sin nerf, like I said. Lee Sin nerf, I am not mad that he got nerfed. It may not be a big deal, it might not really do anything. I'm just mad that they nerfed him based on something so dumb. So it's like if they want to nerf his damage and just nerf his the Q on his the execute thing. It's like what did the attack speed do to him? It's like you want to lower it too by thinking he should go different runes, that kind of stuff. And Shaco, oh my god, my Shaco can't do the double box thing. How do you jungle with him now? The same fucking way you've jungled with him before. Stack boxes on red, gank somebody. You just played Shaco. Now, one of the most common things I have to constantly berate people over, it's the whole, oh, Phoenix or Tiger, I like Tiger, it has better ganks. Oh my god. You know why? It's just getting annoying and sad at this point. Tiger has what, more upfront damage than Phoenix in ganks. Phoenix has about the same damn damage, you know, when it comes after 3 hits. And in any case, if you were to actually get in melee range of somebody as Udyr and have stunned them, it doesn't matter how you're gonna deal the damage. They're probably dead because you got in melee range. It's like Udyr isn't the most, one of the most, consistent gankers because he has to walk up to people who probably can avoid or dodge him without using flash. So like if they get caught by Udyr, they're mostly gonna take an ass beating regardless of what you have taken. Even if you just stood on Bear, you'll probably hurt them a lot. So it's like now when it comes to Tiger or Phoenix, oh, Tiger's fast. You showed it yourself, Stonewall. Yeah, Tiger's fast when you build into it. You put 8 G runes into him, you put 21-0 and all that other stuff. He got fast that way. However, Phoenix is faster using 21 in defense and like a variety of defensive runes and movement speed. What does that tell you about Tiger? Tiger will slow down unless you build into it, meaning you build damage. That means you forsake tankiness. Man, Phoenix can be tanky almost immediately. Therefore, it's like, come mid-game or like if none of you are that farmed, like Tiger will explode in a team fight. Phoenix will last long and still dish out what he needs to do. So Phoenix is superior for that matter and has always been superior. Having it buffed with a 3 hits just sealed the deal.